that my best friend Chat and I came up with to do like a 90-day rollout so you can make sure it's on point. This is what Tribe actually stands for. I stopped putting it in papers, but I got to re-put it in there. Truly rebuild the interconnectedness of benevolence and economics. And the whole true goal of it is to rebuild our families. So today will be day one. These are the things we got to do in the first 30 days. Build a core team, no less than 7, no more than 21. Assign temporary planning roles, create city contact lists, secure meeting event venues, which we got, set branch communication channels, begin outreach to churches, schools, and businesses. So to break that down, is we got your company, we got the church, we got the non-for-profit. Let me step back. Do we understand that Tribes is a network? So itself is not an organization. It's literally like a bunch of phone lines we all putting together to start working together. So with that being said, you guys need to think about 7 to 21 people that you guys would want to roll with in the first 90 days, right? And then there's a couple things, and then we're gonna get to the roles, and then we're gonna come to breaking down how the city works. What we like to do is find out how y'all government is set up, and then it's easier to set up inside the zones that's already set up. So you got to read, you know what I'm saying? So we done it through, for us, we got aldermen, y'all got committeemen. We done it through the committee route and the aldermanic route, and we also did it by police stations. Because if you break a police station down, they got beats, they got streets, and then they got precincts. So we really just use their structure to mirror our structure, so it's easier to just bring it all together. All right, so after we pick our 7 people, one of the first things we're gonna do is what we call a call meeting. Well, basically, what the call meeting is community alignment and leadership movement. We invite everybody out that do stuff in the community. We don't ask anybody out. We just say, hey, this is what we're doing. We do a good social media campaign, give it about 4 weeks out. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. We starting Tribe Network. We would like to roll out to y'all what our plan looks like, what our goals are, who we are, who's already a part of it, and invite everybody in it. And in this meeting, you break down what we're going to talk about later on, which how you start, which is like your summer program, and your yearly. We'll do probably like a 6-month, 3-year plan. Really focus on the first 6 months to get people excited about joining and why they should join. The first couple events, like I said, the comm meeting is one, and then we always do a woman's appreciation brunch, and then we call it Papa Bear, Baby Bear Dance, because we don't want to call it father-daughter dance or father-son, you know what I'm saying, son dance. We just won't. So the mother's thing is to, or the women's thing is to promote women and for them to know how much we appreciate them. And the Papa Bear, Baby Bear Dance is to really, a lot of brothers want to show and do things. They just need reasons to be able to do things. So it's like a daddy-daughter prom, but we avoid, you know what I'm saying? So if it's your uncle, whoever is the main, you know what I'm saying? It's an opportunity for you to get dressed up, and we just do like a formal dinner or a date with the get people like, okay, we ain't seen this in a while type. The women's brunch, we make sure it's all men serving. The women just come, have a good time. We show the women why we appreciate them. We give out some awards, have some poets, live music, give them a gift bag, and they don't do nothing but show up. They don't have to pay for nothing or nothing. We're going to raise the money for that. And that gives you, like it says, community visibility, volunteer interest. Now people are like, okay, so we would do the comm meeting first, right? And then we have the women's, and then we have the Papa Bear, and then after that, you can do a follow-up town hall, right? Which we would talk about during the comm meeting, so we can really boost up. The people have been seeing us do the work we do in the first 90 days, so now they're more inclined to sign up. Like, I really want to rock with y'all type joint. You know what I'm saying? Plus, with Hands House, we're gonna be giving out a lot of food in the next 90 days, a lot of like clothing, a lot of resources. In the next 90 days anyway. So all these are promotional just to get people to sign up. And then you want to do your leadership positions. And we'll go to the tribe deck just to make sure everybody understands how that works. So let's go to, so the first 30 days, y'all pick who y'all want to work with. Put y'all team together. No less than 7, no more than 21. What on? Okay.
You want to hear more, you talk to me. Don't sit in your mouth with your
Okay. Oh, you need me to stand? My bad. Okay. Let me get this up. Okay. Yeah, no problem. All right. So once we get our main core, over time we'll start picking different organizations that step back. We start picking 7 to 8 zone community coaches. You guys are gonna have 5 zones because it's 5. We're gonna go off y'all city councilman piece. So we gotta pick in each zone. We're gonna identify about 5 to 12 people, knowing that everybody ain't gonna make the cut. That we think will be strong community people that live in the community, or you got to spend a lot of time in the community, right? Like you might own a business there, something, but you there a lot. It can't be like, oh, I grew up in Cabrini, so no, you don't live there no more, bro. Like the kids need to see you. It needs to be, if something happens, everybody need to know who to go to, whose house to go to, who's the person of that community, right? So we picking these people after we pick our 21, or the 7. So what you want to do with your 7 is make sure you pretty much got you got a whole net across the city of people that you pick, right? And then you be like, hey, who lives in this community that you think would be an amazing leader if they just had more resources? They don't have to have a business. They don't have to have a non-for-profit, but they doing stuff in the community. They don't have a problem volunteering. They there, right? Because eventually we're going to send them through a training to teach them basic civic engagement, proposals, and SWOT analysis so they can run. The whole point of this is to get everybody that's involved empowered to be able to run their own community. And after we get them, they would pick these, which would be the people that they would be mentoring. So on average, I say these people probably about, typically, not always, I would say no younger than 36, no older than 55. So they've had some experience in life, they got children, they're invested in the community. They just are like, I work a job, I would help, but I don't know where to help. You know what I'm saying? These people typically be, I would say, between the ages of 24 to 36. Some college kids, some people just, there's a lot of gray areas, like kids ain't doing, and I call them kids once you're not grown till you're 32 to me. So it's like 24 and stuff. There's some babies that really ain't getting them, but we're giving them to look forward to in their community. So they're going to end up picking them. And then the youth council is the high schools or your teenagers, and they'll be mentoring them. All right. So it's lineage and hierarchy and the structures. And this group communicates with this group better, and this group communicates with this group. Because a lot of times what happens, you get this group, I'm 55. It's stupid you wear rhinestones in your pants. I literally had to tell somebody, like, bro, you look gay, you got rhinestones in your pants. We grown men. But to them, it's cool. So why even have that conversation? If they think it's cool, let them talk, as long as the real work get done type stuff. So this is what your first, oh, and then we'll do committees, my bad. So again, after we get the 20 to 21 committees, we'll start picking out organizations and people that do the work to be on our committees. These are the 5 pillars. So whoever does with health and wellness, they got an organization, non-for-profit, who really do the work. Not just because they Red Cross, we promote them. We want the people really doing the work. We don't care what they look like. They might look raggedy. They might not have a back office that some of these companies, but we really want the people doing the work in these communities. So we need to figure out on the 5 zones, who are the people that deal with health and wellness, whether it be a gym, a doctor, a vet, a yoga instructor, whoever it is, and they're going to become your citywide committee, right? And then same thing with education. What organization teach reading? What organization teach computer literacy. Like we're gonna do an asset map and figure it out with the main 21 of the 7 people that we got, right? And all these things, right? And so that's why it's important to get your first 7 to 21 people involved, so 2 people ain't doing all this work because everybody still got to work. So and for those 2 things, we leaning on y'all. So far, we know we got the church. We know we got your off arm. We got your org, and we got Hands House. So that's 4, right? Okay. Okay. And not just so right now we're not even talking about committees. We saying who is the 7 to 21 people that's gonna help us launch this thing. Do we have them identified? We need to get them identified. And they don't have to have organizations or nothing. They just got to be people that like, I'm with it. I want to change the community type thing. So before we wrap up today, we should start eyeballing a list. I started looking at some people on social media, just to bring them up. Okay, as in like some influencers. Like one brother got a restaurant or like a truck. I'm finna see. His daughter got like 1 eye. She's a lot, but hold on, I took a picture of it because I want to ask y'all. Wait, hold on. I know I screenshotted it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, her name is Lux Kitty. And his name is, okay, one brother's name is Elamy La City Hazelet. And then the other brother's name is, owner of City View Food Truck.
Oh, food truck. That is. Yeah, I don't know that.
And then the other sister's name was, she's a traveling nail tech. She's from Gary, but she goes from Gary to Phoenix. But she seemed to have a nice following too. And it's just about bringing all type of different people together to bring this thing, you know what I'm saying, together. Which I share with y'all. Let's go over the summer piece. So when we said what we can do with the shorties or kids that have jobs, that we can get jobs, we can roll this out. And basically what we'll do, depending on what funding look like, or I hate to depend on funding, just we can put it out there that we can adopt 12 to 20 shorties from each zone, and they become like our summer program, become teaching them civic engagement. So we would pick 5 communities, 5 areas in each, one area in each of the 5 communities where we'll spend 2 weeks out there. Like we'll be doing surveys, we'll be cleaning up the block, and then we'll build a project like something like, it could be a food thing, it could be like, it could be anything, just to show that we was there, build a relationship with the community, tell them what tribes is doing, show them shorties how they can get involved. So that could be a project that we can do ASAP, that can keep kids paid. And then even if we don't get the kids paid, a lot of like the 8th graders and 7th graders that don't want to go to summer camp, because the summer camp's like for little kids, we can grab them and really just flip the city over the summer. And so basically they would meet here, because this would be the Mecca. So they'd meet here. We can do Tuesday through Saturday, or you can do Monday through Friday, but I like Tuesday through Saturday, so that way we can do the weekend. So let's say we pick an area in zone 1, 4x4 block ratio. We do something near a park, or we take an empty field and redo it, And then on the last day, we throw a block party. And in 2 weeks is to promote. Like in 2 weeks, we're going to have a block party. We do the food giveaway at that location at that time instead of doing it at the church. Right? And then they done seen us for 2 weeks. The kids done been out there. So this is something we can roll out ASAP. And that's pretty much it. The rest of this meeting, y'all need to tell me, all right, we're going to do this or we're going to do that first. Any questions you want me to answer, ask. Sir?
I mean, it pretty much sound like a lot of what my vision is. But as far as the last section that you talked about with the kids,
This or another page?
the part where you were saying where you pay them,
So they got, yeah, go ahead.
I think that was that part. But what I was gonna say is, like maybe a leadership, maybe like a leadership camp, where you teach them what different things and when it comes to leadership, because ultimately you want them to be leaders of that community. So maybe you pick 12 kids, and we have like each week we focus on different things. Like I can show you what I have a program currently that I'm trying to get out. And so it's like a 4-week intensive program, and each week we focus on something different. So the first week we focus on knowing how to work as a team. We do team challenges where you have to go to our beach, and you have different challenges where you have to really work as a team to configure whatever it is. The second week, you're focusing on critical thinking, how you work critically and thinking.
Fact.
Then the third week, we focus on soft skills, culture capitals. Another week we focus on masterminding those critical thinking skills. So we take them to somewhere like an escape room.
Okay.
And then an etiquette class. A lot of our kids don't understand that that's part of leadership. And then that last final week, we have like a big, like you were saying, a big block party for them.
Okay.
So it's like each week you break down something that is different pertaining to leadership, a leadership trait that they need to learn first. I think for me, my focus right now when it comes to our youth is understanding what leadership is, the importance. You can always put in community service, during that week, because that's part of learning what service is and leadership.
Huh.
And so something like that. I don't know.
That's perfect. Only question is, can we double that in Chicago? So basically how we do it is, we didn't even break down the leadership, but that's what we're going for. We just use civic engagement as the tool to teach. Like, a lot of people don't even understand the power they have, right? Why your vote matters for real, or just being advocate for your community matters. Like, most people just like, oh, whatever, it don't matter, it's going to be what it's going to be. You got to stop thinking like that. So we can Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Saturday, the first 3 hours we doing classroom time. The next 2 hours we out in the field, right? Doing surveys. So yes, it's a perfect answer. That's the perfect marriage. Okay. And then for me, it makes us get behind your company, and we get to push your company, which is the whole point of Trabs. It's not that Trabs is going to do any direct services. We just here to do like, hey, did y'all know she was here? This is dope. Look what she's doing. Gotcha. So we would love to use that model as what we do as a summer program.
Okay.
Y'all got questions back there? Rev?
So one other question.
Go ahead.
So you want those 7 within the first 30 days.
Yep.
And so out of those 7, I see you had that list of 5 different categories.
Okay, so the 7 is for the 7 is to launch the 7 to 21. Let's be clear.
Right.
It's to do the 90-day rollout.
Okay.
While we're doing the 90-day rollout, we'll naturally be building out committees and your zone coaches. So when we get done in 90 days, we should have at least 120 people that's Trabs already. Whether they're a committee person or, my fault, I know I'm opening off the camera, whether they're a committee person or a zone captain. So look at it like the government, right? You got the legislation branch. What is it? Legislation?
Executive.
So the Trab, okay, executive, what else? What's the third one?
Judicial. Judicial. Executive.
Say it one more time, because I should know this.
Legislative, executive, judicial.
All right, so these are kind of like your judicial. These are people, the officers, the people that run your everyday community. This is like the committees are the legislation. Because let's say we got 20 organizations that deal with health and wellness, but they're not getting the funding we need, right? They tell us these companies ain't getting the funding because y'all don't hit these trademarks, these benchmarks. We gonna make sure they hit these benchmarks because they have been hitting them, but they ain't been documenting them. And so when you competing with big, larger conglomerates, they look like they do it on purpose. I call it gangbanging. Like, we the big homies, so we really don't want to give y'all no money, so we gonna keep making these rules so y'all don't qualify. One of them being, you never had $1 million before. Well, how am I supposed to get $1 million if that's the first thing and I ain't never had it before? And so it's like, this is what they did. They come up with, we do that SWOT analysis. Where the food deserts is at. Why aren't the doctors seeing more black people? What insurance need to be used? Like that's what they should be doing anyway. But so where you got like 8 organizations working in silos in different parts of the city, you bring them all together. So now we got everybody's data. And the main 21, or the core people that kick it off, that's like your like judicial, legislation, and what was the last one? Executive. They're like the executive branch that make sure everybody's doing everything they're supposed to do.
That's like your president.
Edit that out like I knew what I was talking about, don't you? I'm messing with you. So that's. Ooh. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the first 90 is going to be pretty much your governing board the rest of the time. And you would be the president of the board because you brought Travis here. Vice president. Ben could then be, Hines House can be a representative, but I would put Hines House, they could definitely be a representative, but they should definitely be health and wellness on the committee because that's what they do as a firm. And then ZCCs, if I could just simplify, like, for us, we took a bunch of old hood Negroes that were like, man, I want to change, but I don't know what to do or how to help. Everybody keep saying I'm this. They didn't get married now. And they just want to feel like good brothers, but they fall back because, like, if I go outside, it look like I'm star trouble and I'm not trying to. So how do you protect them? You train them. And the training is not simple. I hate saying trainer, but you just educate them on simple stuff. Right? And then if you got the kids learning about leadership and the parents of leadership, now we all respect leadership and what's need to be done. Don't throw nothing away on the ground.
That community, the coach mentor, you said you wanted to be someone that's actually inside of the community.
Right.
That's staying in the community.
These people. So ZCCs can stay here or own a business. Right? But we want to know at least 4 days of the week, somebody in the hood can catch you. See what I'm saying? These people definitely live here. They definitely live here. These people, like I say, 36, 55-ish. This group, I really consider 13 to 19 in this group, and then 21 to 35 in this group. But they just living life. They having babies. So like even in this, for both of these, we do a monthly men's meeting. Well, fellowship is the best word. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of brothers don't know stuff, so sometimes a round table just be helping because brothers don't understand. They think stuff be like, it just be them going through it. Like, my homie's like, man, I can't do it, bro. Like, my wife don't woo. And I had to explain to him, like, bro, women are allowed to live in their emotions. You're not. So you want to honor what she's saying, but figure a way to fix it. Because that's not more likely going to be what she going to do. But you can't get mad at her, right? And then as soon as we broke it down, another brother like, man, I was struggling with that. I thought, woo, I'm supposed to be the man. I'm like, being a man don't mean you got to just poke your chest out and yell all the time. Sometimes shut up, listen to what everybody say, and put a plan together. They might not agree with it. But if you're a leader, they're going to follow it. And if you're a good leader, you're going to see where your weakness is like, you know what, I thought we were going to do this, but let's move this to Tuesdays. And then you start seeing. And so sometimes just having the men's meeting with support and women's meeting is going to help. So it becomes like a group therapy session. And then when we get really good, after we get to high school, we got a piece that we develop and we would definitely work with you. Our version of what Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts should look like for like 3-year-old till they get to high school. But these are the first ones. And the reason why I started with these, I went to the worst high school, what they considered the worst. I did it on purpose. I went to every principal's like, look, I'm gonna do a program. You're gonna be 20 kids. You pick 10, I pick 10. So of course they went to the worst kids they could find, they thought. And then I would do a lunchroom takeover and I'd pick different kids. And once we taught them leadership skills, it was over. They was rocking and rolling. I didn't even have to do nothing no more. It was a big old fight at 95th, which is like a big train station for us. Talking about 300-400 kids fighting at a time. And it started making the news, which was rare back then. And I didn't even know it. So all your kids meet at their school when school gets rolling twice a week. So let's say a kid about to get suspended. The principal can opt out to have them see the JEGNA group. Because they already know what's going on in the community. Like, all right, instead of getting suspended, you got to go volunteer on AIDS Awareness Day over here, right? As alternatives to getting suspended, right? And we teach them how to govern it. Like, this is what this punishment equals, and this is what this get. And then it just teaches leadership. And once you give a person a reason to poke their chest out with some pride and love, they continue it. So they would meet at their school twice a week, and then citywide, we met at the junior college. So this is what y'all going to be. Y'all going to be our version of the junior college, where everybody comes. It's the Mecca. And one day, the kids, and 2 kids stayed behind. They're like, hey, buddy, you heard about them fights? I was like, yeah. And basically, Harlan and Finger, like, they're super ghetto schools in my neighborhood. Brooks, where all the cop, yeah, barely, but yeah. Brooks is where all the cop kids went. So they was like the privileged kids. This girl, I don't know why I'm pointing to the board like these schools on here, they're not, so please don't look at it. This girl from Brooks ended up dating a dude from Finger and Harlan, and that's what all the fights boiled down to. So when they whispered in my ear, told me, I was like, what y'all gonna do? So the whole youth council went up to this L on 95th, and they squashed it. You know what I'm saying? We just stood up there. It was about me and like 4 of my guys, and we stood. And this is how I realized how powerful it was, because it's like almost on some Thriller. Like, everybody met up. I'm like, we finna have to just throw some shorties, bro. You know what I'm saying? And before, I'm listening to them argue, and then the other kids from Finger was like, well, if you went to Finger Harlan, you don't got no say. Carver gonna mediate this one. So I said, okay, they getting it. You know what I'm saying? And then they regulated it, and then it got squashed. As much as it could get squashed there. And the police was looking. The police watched. And they were watching, and then after about 40 minutes, they walked over to like, man, who are y'all? And I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody. And then they ended up coming to the junior college. And that's when I realized how powerful it was, because I'm used to this. This is called gangbanging where I'm from. Like, P say, we squashing it. So you teach people this, bro, like, sis, they'll do it. We just have to get them opportunity. Like, some people like, why would you give this? Why would you let them delve out the punishment? It's one thing for an adult to tell a kid something, right? But you're an adult. But when my partners make me pick up trash, it's a whole, you know what I'm saying? It's peer. Like, you gonna be like, all right, old people, they gonna say that. When somebody else, this is on some fat stuff. We were walking up the stairs the other day. It's called Swallow Cliff. There's a lot of stairs. So like on the third, I told my homie we're gonna do 5. I got the 3, like, ooh. I ain't finna make it to the 5th one. So I wanted to quit, but I had already told him fat, and I know him. We gonna do 6 since you wanna quit. So I ain't say nothing. And then I cheated, like I grabbed a rail and walked up a couple of. He said, what you looking for? Did you find it? And I was like, yeah, it was right here. And I ain't touched the rail the rest of the time we was there. It's just little stuff like that when it comes from peers versus someone you figure just preaching, you know what I mean, takes it differently. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, then it's like, if somebody your age is saying it, the best one is when young girls tell young boys stuff. Because it'd be like, you like her anyway, so now, you know what I'm saying? So, that part. And then for adults, it works for us because I don't know you and I'm so bitter, but I've been wanting to talk to you, so now this gives us all equal ground to talk. And ain't no one person in charge. So I use the Bible rule where 2 people can't agree. And if anybody got a problem with that, hey, you got to get out of here. We call it put in your back pocket. You need to put your feelings in your back pocket, bro. And if you can't put it in your back pocket, you just don't belong here. We ain't argue, tell you don't belong in the community, but this ain't the group for you. Because everything we doing is about progression. If you want to talk about what happened in the 80s and the 90s and why somebody's shoe ain't tied, this is not the group for you. When we talk about tomorrow, next week, and next year, this is the group. You want to have a memory lane party, throw it, pass and supply, maybe some of us come. But when it comes to trash, we don't do all that. Bike biting, all that, we don't do none of that.
It's crazy you got that. Yo Youth Council is exactly a program I got written up. So
Facts.
it's the same thing. We only have one public high school here, but we have 3 or 4 different charters. And so I know different teachers and principals at each of these schools. So what I was gonna do, and I get distracted, and I don't have the right people. So I'm really just excited. But I literally wanted to pick 3 to 4 kids from each high school and join and have a council come together, and they basically run their schools. And so, like on certain days, Friday and Saturday, a lot of them don't got anything to do. We might throw a little, game day, something, flag football day, where they all come together from each school, and they hang out. But the council literally runs their school. And people don't understand that they are quicker to listen to their peers than they are the adults. You know what I mean? I seen it with my own eyes all the time. Your peers tell you, hey man, stop disrespecting that teacher. They're gonna be quicker to listen to their peers and stop disrespecting the teacher than they are the adult. And so that's why I wanted to do the leadership retreat, where they literally focus on how to become leaders.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's
It's
literally the
same thing. And what I learned in my travels, that's why I changed Trav from being an org to a network. Now, don't beat me up. Now, I ain't never read the Bible before, but the more I keep doing God's work, it's like the right minded people work. You're like, man, I was just doing that. And people used to get offended. I learned not to get offended. Like, we on his path then. So we ain't gonna argue. Let's just figure out how to link together. I don't do direct services no more. But what I can is share with you how we did it. So one of the things we did, I call it weed money. Every month we threw a party, and every month we did a community event. The parties was like $12 to $15 to get in. And because the shorties had nowhere to go, that's how we funded everything. We were making 20 racks off parties. And then whichever school brought the most person, when I brought a celebrity to town, the celebrity came to your school. And whoever was the youth council leader had to book like you was the one to talk to. I didn't even talk to him. You talked to him. Which I tell everybody, if I give you my Rolodex, I'm holding you responsible. So I better not get a call about you acting up. I better not, man, you can't use my Rolodex. That's how we funded everything for a long time. I was telling them last time we met, the biggest party we threw one on Christmas Day, and we threw one on New Year's Eve, partner. And we had an abandoned building. We took 2, don't do this. We took 2 garage heaters, like mechanics, and we ran them for about 3 hours before the kids got there. Then we had about 2,500 kids show up.
I know they booking their own Airbnbs now, and they having their own parties because they don't have nothing else to do.
And so that's why you end up with the trouble you get. But when somebody's around, and I told them, I shared with them, eventually the police came, right? And this blue shirt was going, oh, how many people here? You going to jail? Like, who in charge? I'm like, me. Oh, you going to jail? Da, 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 da. He was, and I just told him, I said, do me a favor, because he got called a white shirt. I said, don't turn the music off until the white shirts get here. Like, I'll stand with you wherever you want. You want to put me in handcuffs, you put me in hand, but don't stop the music. You stop the music, it's going to cause a lot of chaos. You got to let it out a certain way. So when the white shirt came, he came down there, he looked. He said, how many kids here? We told him, because we had a counter. We told him. And then he walked me in the blue shirt around the corner. Then he snapped on the cop. He said, you ain't finna arrest him. He said, what you about to do is thank him. Have you understood that it ain't been burglaries and robberies and little stupid stuff lately? He says, because they all here. He said, but Mr. Williams, this is illegal. And so I'm going to give you something, right? And then he said, but he made all the police stand on corners and we had to release them. Like how I would have did it in the first place. But he said, y'all job is to make sure nobody gets hurt going home. And then he gave me a blue ticket. And the blue ticket was like, it was like a city fine ticket. And so he gave me the blue ticket. And let's just say it was $50. He went in his pockets and gave me $50 and said, go pay this. And that's what he gave me as my punishment. But that's how we funded everything. I call it weed money. And why I call it weed money, when I'm dealing with teenagers, my biggest competition is dope. Because I got all the celebrities. I know they're going to buy them pills. They're going to buy that, you know what I'm saying? So if I can get them to blow some of their money with me versus their pills, and I'm giving them stuff to come to, I'm gonna take the weed money. So I never went for grant money. And we averaging by about 25,000. Well, ain't a lot, but when you know what I'm saying. And I didn't come into this as a college trained professional. I came to it as an old street Negro that I just had to have a product I could sell. And once, like you say, anybody, you give a swing manager some power, he gonna run it because it's a pride thing. So that's it. Let me turn the mic off. All right. No other questions?
No, bro, I like the program itself. And I was telling some people, I was like, man, we complain about the government, right? We complain about what the government doing, but we don't form governments ourselves in our own neighborhoods. And that's one thing about the church, man. We have the power to form governments to govern our areas. But we rather just start some churches up and govern a group of people, right? And control their lives. But we don't make an impact inside the communities. And man, I was writing this morning about the same thing, how the Lord told his people to go into the harvest, right? Go out into the harvest, man, and really make disciples out of the nations, right? To get them to be disciplined ones, man, and just to put in work for God, man. And so I think all this, I don't think, but I know all this ties together, right? Onto taking communities and bringing health and prosperity to communities, man. And I love the networking part. And I was yesterday I was out at the city of Gary, man, and so many people showed up. And that's the same thing the mayor was saying. He was saying network. That was coming out of his mouth strong, right? It's networking, how they made a call, and man, you got groups from outside the city of Gary coming in to help clean up the city and help fix up City Hall, all free of charge, right? They just using what they have to bring health to the community, man. And the same thing is here, man. This attack is going to be powerful, man. This is going to be so powerful because we really going to sew some stuff up and hold ground. And then I finished that yesterday. Then I went to Terrytown where we was at last time. And I took the skidster, man. I cleaned off the sidewalks. I pushed the woods back. And I was cleaning up the street, man, 23rd. And we got some youngsters, man. I finished cleaning up. It looked good. These youngsters coming. They had to snatch this bag from somebody, a grocery bag. And so they all eating out the bag. I walked past them with the chainsaw. I like, what's up? They say, what's up? And I turn around, bro. They leave the bag right there in the middle of the street. Just right there in the middle of the street and walk off. And I'm like, hey, man, hey. I got in my feelings. But I remember what you were saying last time about if we get in our feelings with them, we need to just pull back, right? So I left it alone, man. They walked past the park, and two of them came back. And they came back. I was like, hey, what's up, little man? What's up? And I asked them their name, blah, blah, blah. I asked them where they live. They said they was live this way. I was like, man, they can't live that way. They got to live this way because they coming back. But I just asked them their name, man, see how they was doing, saying, man, we might be in your neighborhood doing some projects, man, y'all willing to help? They was like, yeah, man. These dudes thought I was going to holler at them about leaving the bag. I left the bag alone, right? But I hollered at them on a whole different subject, and these dudes dropped their masks down. They get to talking. They want to be engaged, man. These youngsters, and then I was sitting out there yesterday in Terrytown. I was like, bro, how can we get mad when we not out here? How can we get mad at these youngsters by what they doing, and we not out there? They have no example. They have no leadership, and they definitely don't have no respect because they don't got it. Ain't no respect. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're not there.
Right.
But them two dudes lit up, man. They lit up and they ready to get engaged, man. So what the Lord say, he said the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. And it's like, bro, we got to get out there, man. He say the people, the situation is perfect for us to get out there, man. And so, man, that's why I say, man, yeah, man.
Today, we're going to go over the list today. And I'm proud of you because it's easy getting your feelings. And I be having to tell people, like, you have a 45-year-old man talking to a 9-year-old like they have a 45-year-old man. How do you think this conversation is really going to go? Like, relax. Like, I know as an adult it's freezing, right? But this is a learning experience. And I'm a parent of 7. So trust me, I be wanting to throw them out a window. And I love my babies. I have a string and pull them back, but I just be, man, But it's like if we get in our feelings, we teach them to get in their feelings, and nothing gets done, right? So this is the way. And then sometimes you're gonna get your feelings, and they need to see that you're crazy, but they need to see that we can grab you, and then they bring it back to the community because it ain't about one person. And like y'all said, if you think about it, y'all already doing the work. The only thing we saying is, let's build it out so the network could run together. Because you are gonna get a lot of people. I had a homie when I started. We gonna go to med school together. We both got accepted. He said, I'm going to art school. I said, you going to art? I said, bro, you know how people fought? Like literally, I'm not talking about Martin Luther King. Like they had to beat up GDs just so we could go to school. So we could, you gonna tell them you gonna go to art school? In my head, art school equal heroin addict that just paints everywhere. I'm like, there's no way you finna tell them we finna do that. Smartest dude I know. The man went to, I tell y'all just like this, right now to this day, he has a part-time job. Listen to me. A part-time job that pays $375,000 a year. He works 6 hours a month on a part-time job. But back then when he graduated art school, he became the lead designer. He taught at the school at 22, but he became the lead designer for NBA Live in another basketball game. They built him an office in Schaumburg. And all that to say, it was a beautiful office, like video games. It was just fun. So we used to take Shorty from our hood to his office. And one day he just pulled me to the side. He said, yeah, we got to stop this. He's like, every week I'm replacing something. And we're going to edit this part out. Man, I punched him in his face. I said, boy, you done got bougie. Like, you done thought you better than these kids like we was these kids. And what God had to show me was like, he right. We don't give our kids everything. You have to show them respect or they'll never respect anything. And that's all he was saying. He shouldn't have to and that's when I realized my role. My role is to get y'all ready to go meet Scotty and them. Scotty shouldn't have to tell you to shut up. You should know that you're not going to see many Scotties, and not that you need to like take him as a guy, but when he talks, this is what you said you want to do. He shouldn't have to say shh. That was my job. And if he has to tell you shh, you got to come back down here with us. Because we need somebody going to do what he did. We would have never knew gaming was a profession. I graduated in 97. Nobody knew about that. The part-time job is Ford comes up with a car, he designs it. 6 hours a month, $500,000. And I told him, don't go to art school. I beg him for money every weekend. But that's it. Say, we're going to dig in today. Oh, man.